Let's be honest. When you think about the writer in your life, the one that you love and cherish and value so much, and you think about a gift that you can give that will show them exactly how much you appreciate them, your mind goes to books. Either a book they want, or maybe a book on writing, or maybe a gift card for a book, or a mug with a book on it, or maybe a bookmark. We get it. You think we like to read, and we do. But here's the reality: a book doesn't help a writer make progress towards their writing goals. And that's what a writer really wants. They want time to write, to make progress on their writing project. Now, you might be thinking, I can give that to them. I can do an hour or so on a Saturday, and they can go to a coffee shop and write for a few hours. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a chunk of time, an opportunity to go deep, to have no other distractions, focus, allocated time to write. So, what I'm telling you, lean in close, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. Your writer, what would knock their socks off, what would tell them that you value them, that you appreciate them, that you wholeheartedly believe in them, that you know they have a gifting and you want to support it, that would be to give them a weekend away to write. You're probably thinking, okay, that sounds good. A weekend away to write. Yeah, I can see how my writer would want that. But it also kind of sounds a little expensive and maybe even a little complicated to pull off. Which, if you're thinking this, your writer's probably thinking it too. But I'm here to tell you it doesn't have to be either expensive nor complicated. I've gone on a couple of weekends away to write and we've managed just fine. I've been able to figure out how to prepare my family for me to be away for a weekend. I figured out how to do it without breaking the bank. And I've done it in a way that has really given me a lot of progress on my writing goals. And I can help you do the same if you just hang in there and if you commit to putting in some prep work ahead of time. This is not, if you're looking for a gift that you can just press the button and it will just send the gift to your writer, this isn't it. You're going to have to put in some work, but the person that is receiving this from you, the writing weekend away to really make progress on their goals, that person is going to feel so validated. They're going to see that you are supporting them, supporting their goals, supporting their dreams, that you are behind them. And they're going to know that you are in their corner, cheering them on. So trust me when I say this. This is a gift worth working on. This is a gift worth the work put into it to make it happen for the writer in your life. Okay, let's get into the details. There's a few categories that you're going to need to focus your attention on. And when you do that, you'll know exactly what you need to prep and what you need to think through to pull this all together. Now, I have created a checklist and I've created a couple other resources to help you kind of pull everything through. So after we're done going through this video, make sure you watch to the very end so you know exactly how I'm breaking everything down. But after that, I want you to go to the link in the description below and it'll take you to my website where I have those resources for you. Make sure you take advantage of them so that you know that you're not missing a single thing when you present this to your writer as the gift. All right. So the first category I want you to focus in on is your budget. Now, I think you could probably pull this off for about $300. Let me tell you how I figured that out. Your biggest category expense is going to be lodging. And I suggest you don't do any lodging further than an hour away from your home. And the reason why this is you don't want your writer wasting a lot of time getting to the location where they're going to do their writing project. You also might not want to select a hotel up front. And this is why. Many writers are very particular about the environment that they're writing in. I know I am. I have to have certain things. I need a big window. I need a desk that has a comfortable chair. There's just some things that need to be in place for me to be very efficient in my writing time. So when I'm looking at hotels, there's a couple things that need to check the boxes off. Now, you might not know these, and that's fine. So instead of reserving a hotel room, what I suggest you do is get a hotels.com gift card. Now, you want to get a gift card now, and you want to give that to your writer when you gift this to them for them to then go and make the reservation. And this is why it's very easy to say, oh, we're going to do this thing and we're going to allocate this money towards it. But if you don't tie up that money, come on, people, it gets eaten up in something else. There's something else that pops up that feels like a much more important expense. And it's very easy for writers to kind of let go of their time to write, like to let go of something like this, an expense that they put towards their writing because they enjoy to write. Right now, that writing might not be bringing a monetary benefit to the family. And so oftentimes between the feeling of enjoying it and the fact that it's not bringing in any money, a writer can dismiss the value and they can justify allocating money towards something else instead of that writing time. And you don't want that to happen because this is a gift. This is a gift, and you want to make sure that money gets spent on that gift. So tie it up in a hotels.com gift card or something similar. If you know a hotel brand that your family always stays at, get a hotel gift card to that hotel. Okay. So you want to tie up that money. When I'm breaking out this budget, I'm averaging about $100 a night. Now, obviously, depending on the hotel that you pick, that might be more, it might be less. It all depends, but I just averaged it out at $100 a night. The next main category you're going to pay attention to for your budget is meals. And I've allocated about $80 in this example. This is how I've had it broken down. I figure the writer is going to eat breakfast at the hotel. The hotel breakfast is included. When I'm giving you this example, that's my assumption. My next assumption is that Saturday's lunch is going to be something that you get it's simple, like a sandwich or something like that. So some small meal that writer eats while they're at the hotel. Sunday is going to be at Panera, and I'll explain why in a minute. Dinner on Friday night is going to be a sandwich that they're going to grab or drive through on the way out. And then Saturday night is the actual dinner out. And I'll explain a little bit more about food in a second, but so hang tight because I will get to that. But I also want you to think about creating a care package. Now, I actually suggest you create this care package right away. That way you can give it to the writer as kind of like the tangible part of their gift when you gift it to them. But I am budgeting about $20 for this care. And that care package is going to include things like their favorite drink. You know, if your writer is like a Pepsi fan, make sure they have a couple cans of Pepsi in their care package. If you know what kind of candy they love, make sure that candy's in that care package. You might want to put some other snacky things that you know they'll enjoy. This care package is something very small, but it's just something to keep them going throughout the weekend. I also budgeted $10 for gas. Now remember, I said it's a close to you hotel. That's why it's not very much gas allocated, but obviously gas prices fluctuate and that might change too. The very last category as far as your budget goes is a miscellaneous fund. You never know. Things come up, your writer might have forgotten something. They might forget their toothpaste and they might need to go to the Walgreens and grab a tube. That's what this category is for. And I just put $10 towards. So that's kind of how I broke down the $300. Now, obviously, things can vary, meals can vary, hotels can vary. Oh, but do you see how, like, I just broke it down? The main thing that you need to contemplate as far as the budget go. Now, I have two tips for you. One, you can always invite others to join in with you on this gift. Invite family and friends to join in and gift this together to your writer. Trust me, at the end of the day, if it's like a group of five of you going in on this gift for this writer that you all love and care for, that writer's not going to care that it came from five people. They're just going to be ecstatic that they get to go away for the weekend to write. And then the second tip I have for you is to remember that this is not a vacation for the writer. This is a work trip. And so just remember that things like this can be written off as a work expense. So obviously talk to your tax accountant, but just know that this kind of work trip is a work trip and it is work expense. If your writer has a business card, you might want to hold off on purchasing some things until you're able to utilize that business card to make those transactions. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. Okay. So the next thing that you need to think about is the timeline. How are we going to make this happen? What weekend are we going to make it happen on? And actually, that's where you need to start. Which weekend will this take place on? Don't wait until after you've gifted this to make a true set in stone decision. Decide now. You're, trust me, there's never going to be a great weekend. Every weekend is going to have something. And like I said, with the financial piece of it, your writer can excuse away or reason away spending time on their writing just as they would, just as much as they can the money aspect. Okay. Like I said, it's something we enjoy doing. It's not bringing might not be bringing in money right now. And so it can be really easy to just set it aside and say, this thing is more important. You're going to help your writer not do that. You're going to pick the weekend, and you can always adjust things later, but you're going to pick a weekend that you think makes the most sense within a month of gifting this. Don't put this out further than a month if you can avoid it. Try to make this happen within a month of gifting it to the writer. Okay. So pick a date, a weekend within a month of gifting the gift. Now, timeline. You're probably thinking like, oh my gosh, a whole weekend. How are we going to make that happen? It's really not a whole weekend. We say it's a weekend away, but typically it means you leave on Friday night, and we're going to say 5 o'clock, and then it goes till Sunday at 5 o'clock. All right. So it's really not even a full weekend away. Now, obviously, you can extend it or shorten it however you want to do it. But I suggest this is the timeline I think works best, especially if you have kids at home. Okay. So if you're going to be sending your writer away for a weekend, and especially if you have kids at home, this is the timeline I suggest you use. 5 p.m. on Friday, you get home from work. You guys use that 5 to 6 p.m. hour to make a transition. You're coming home from work, you're transitioning. They're transitioning to leave out the door. In that hour, feelings are going to come up. Maybe even some parental guilt is going to rise to the surface. Your job as your writer's cheerleader is to help them get out the door. Have them give hugs and shoo them out. Have your kids go, yeah, go on your writing trip. Do what you need to do to get them out the door. They're going to eat on the way, either, like I mentioned before, a sandwich or a drive-through. They're going to get to their hotel within an hour. They're going to check in, and then they're going to use a little bit of time to prep for the next day, make sure they know exactly what they're going to work on, set up their writing space, get settled in, and then they're going to relax for a little bit, and then they're going to go to bed. All right? That is a necessary time. Now, your writer is going to be like, I need to get there. I need to start working and writing. No, that writer needs time to transition out of full blown life into a focused space of writing. And that's what Friday night is for, is to help them focus in. Then on Saturday morning, they're going to get up, they're going to eat breakfast, and they're going to hit the ground running, and they're going to plow through it. They're going to stop for about a half an hour to eat lunch, and then they're going to go back to it. They're going to go until dinner, when they will need a break because they've been doing deep and hard work, hard, creative, deep work that they're going to need to take a break from. They're going to leave, go to a restaurant, maybe read, maybe just sit and people watch, whatever floats their boat. Then they're going to come back to the hotel, and they can either choose to go back to writing, or they might choose to just relax for the rest of the evening. Now, remember, they put in a day's worth of work, so they are going to need a break at some point. But a lot of times writers get so excited and they get so energized, they go right back into writing. So it really just depends on the writer, what they're going to do with that time in the evening. But again, they're going to get into bed at a decent time. Then on Sunday morning, they're going to get up, they're going to eat breakfast, they're going to check out of the hotel room. And then my suggestion is that they go eat lunch at a Panera, work for an additional 3.5 to 4 hours, and then make their way home. When they first get home, you're going to greet them, and then you are going to have a little bit of debrief, but you're going to have dinner ready for them. You're not going to be worrying about dinner. I suggest you keep it simple. We'll talk about that in a minute, what my suggestions are. And then you guys are going to debrief together, especially if you have kids, debrief together about the weekend and how the weekend went. And then you are going to make sure everybody knows what they need to do the next day. Everybody's prepared for the next day. And you're going to send the kids off to bed. And then you and your writer are going to really dive into what they learned, what they experienced, what they made progress on, what they felt challenged in. And you're going to make that time of connection with them. And that will solidify for the writer just how much of a cheerleader you are for them, just how much you really support the work that they're doing. Before we go any further, I just want to make sure you know that I've linked to what I'm calling a gift guide on my website in the description below. And that gift guide has both this video and another video I did, which is about how to prepare yourself for when the writer is gone, how to prepare you and your family to navigate that weekend without the writer. And both of those videos embedded on that page, as well as links to helpful resources that will help you pull this all together, including a letter that you can give your writer when you're gifting it to them that tells them exactly when this writing weekend is going to happen, as well as a checklist to make sure you don't miss anything, and a meal prep sheet so that you can prepare to have the writer's meals covered as well as the meals for those still at the home while the writer's gone. There's also links to a bunch of different things I think would be pretty awesome to have in a care package and other resources as well. So make sure you check out that link in the description below. Now, I keep mentioning meals, and meals can feel like a very overwhelming thing, especially if you're not the one who's normally in charge of them. But once again, keep it simple, 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 simple. Everybody gets sandwiches on Friday night. Don't make it complicated. And then, like I said, breakfasts are at the hotel. For lunch, they're going to do a sandwich or maybe like a lunch meat, cheese and crackers and veggies, or a salad kit with a can of tuna. Something simple that they can put in their mini fridge and then eat quickly, and it doesn't take a lot of prep. Like, you're not gonna need a kitchenette in your hotel room because it's a simple meal. And then lunch on Sunday is going to be Panera, like I said, so that they can eat and write, and they're not wasting time driving to and from places. And then you just have to maybe get a gift card to a local restaurant on Friday night. If you're not really sure what's around the area where your writer is going to go, you can always give them a Visa gift card, right? To just use on whatever restaurant that they need. Once again, I'm telling you to get gift cards so that you can tie up the money for specifically for this trip. Now, obviously, if there's a business card involved, that needs to be done with that business card, those expenses. But if that's not at play here, then you can always gift cards. Sunday night, dinner is pizza or pasta. Like something super simple. I suggest pizza because of a couple of different reasons. Either you can do frozen pizza that you just throw in the oven or maybe a take and bake, or you have it delivered. Here's the thing, when your writer first gets home, you guys don't want to be wasting time in the kitchen worrying about dinner. You want to just spend time reconnecting with each other and then a little bit of time preparing for the next day because you guys are entering into a work week. And remember, your writer has just come off of a work week, went through a work weekend, and now is exhausted but has to head into the next work week. So you want to make Sunday night as relaxing as possible for them. And I have some tips for how to do that, how to prepare yourself and your family for when your writer is gone for the weekend, but also how to navigate those first few hours when they're home. And I'm going to talk about that in the next video.